Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All right, guys, here we go. Supermassive Games is back, continuing the Dark Anthology?
The Dark Pictures.
The Dark Pictures.
Damn. Dark Pictures Anthology.
The Dark Pictures.
So, Supermassive Games is back with the Dark Pictures Anthology's second entry, Little Hope. Here we go. Leave all that in. It's real.
I'm not going to do it.
We're going the wrong way.
It's fine, just a quick detour.
What happened?
Where are we?
We're near Little Hope.
Sounds like a fun place.
Funnily enough, Little Hope does have an interesting and dark history.
The way this fog just appears, it's not natural.
Seems the fog won't let us go anywhere except into the center of town.
What the hell is this thing?
A warning, perhaps.
Get off of me! What more proof is needed that the devil walks among us in Little Hope?
There's someone else out here, by the fire.
Come play. Come play with me.
My God, what do we do?
What the hell is that?
Get the hell out of there!
I'm next.
She is the one in league with the devil.
All right, guys, that was the Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope, which is the second in the installment, the first being Man of Medan. Or
Medan.
whatever words. So I picked this because I'm a fan of Supermassive Games, like first real entry, which was Until Dawn. I liked it so much that I bought it on PlayStation and played through it myself and tried to get a bunch of different endings and stories and the best possible outcome. And I also watched 3 separate YouTubers / YouTube groups play through the story just to see how they chose and what happened with their playthroughs. So that happened before the company started to come together and launch this 8-part Dark Pictures Anthology. And I played about, let's say, 2 hours of Man of Medan, and it sucks. Like, it is not good at all. Like, the graphics are horrible, which it doesn't look like they've improved any in this trailer for Little Hope. Like, the voice acting is fair at best, like in the best parts, and then it gets really just chalky and blocky and uncharacteristic in the rest. And the quick time events are clunky and slow. But there's just something so intriguing about the premise of this, of like an interactive movie that you can play either by yourself or with friends. They talk about, or not talk about, but they mention the online 2-player in the trailer really quick, which I think is a cool setting, kind of like what PlayStation Share wanted to be, even though it's just like a broken system that I don't think anyone really uses. Like, Sanford, do you remember the one time we tried to do it and like it was just glitching all over the place for the 5 minutes we did it?
Oh yeah,
it was
did not work.
It was not a good time. it was not a good time. Other than that, I don't really have much to say about this game. I didn't do research. I don't do that. That's not my thing. I'm not the one who does that. So I'm going to kick it to the person who sometimes does. Fernandez, what are your thoughts?
My research was just basically about how it's connected to, like you said, Man of Medan. There really isn't much else there, man. I didn't really go that far into it. I just thought it was cool that they're making a this little anthology of horror video games. It's an interesting genre. I too have played Until Dawn. I have my own feelings about that, though. I mean, I didn't play it all the way through because there's a part where I realize I'm playing as a teenage girl having a snow fight with my friends, and I'm like getting really invested in my relationships with these other teenagers, and I'm like, this is getting weird, and I'm not really a big fan, just because there's parts in these types of games where it's not as big part of the story. They're building you into to kind of dig you deeper into like the characters, I guess. And I don't know, I'd rather it slows the pace of these games down for me, like Until Dawn and what was that other one? My Strange Life or whatever. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Yeah, I played that. That was actually really good. That one kept my attention for a bit. But there are parts where I'm realizing like it feels slow and clunky having to build so much of being into the character that the actual story pace is slowed down to me. But I thought this was a really cool idea. Whether or not it was, executed very well, it sounds like it wasn't, considering, Corey, you actually have played some of these. I haven't played any of them, any of these Dark Pictures games, but it looks like there's a lot of hype to it. They're putting in, Will Poulter is the main actor that's in this. With games where they actually bring in live actors for, like, there was this, Hayden Panettiere was in Until Dawn, right? And
Hayden Pantene Pro V.
Yeah, Remy
Save
Malek
the
was in
cheerleader,
Until
save the
Dawn
world.
on as well.
Who else? And then your favorite, Corey, Ellen Page was in that Beyond Two Souls game, which was actually pretty fun.
Yes, she was.
That's a different.
That's not even.
Oh, I know, but it's not like this at all. But
Willem Dafoe is in Beyond Two Souls as well.
Yes, but it's like this thing where bringing in actors into games
He's
was
something
kind
of a video game character himself.
That's
the meme.
Put it up.
Go
Put
on.
the meme up. 6 different memes.
Before I completely lose my train of thought here, I was trying to harken back to what I said in the last episode about the future of storytelling, and that's what's super intriguing about this endeavor into making a horror anthology type thing to me, with these video games trying to tell a story in a really unique way, and more games are doing that. And it's interesting to delve into the styles of them. Yes, like we just said, Beyond Two Souls is a totally different type of game than this, but the games that started out doing this, you have was it Heavy Rain and
Corey's favorite game.
Ooh!
All these story-driven games. Some of them, just like movies, some of them hit the mark and some of them miss the mark. But it's cool seeing this evolution of people trying out new things in the video game medium. We got to see a lot of the evolution of video games in our time and how everything is. I mean, kids today, they kind of get to jump into the video game world at a way different part of it and not knowing the history of stuff. We've seen it come a long way. So regardless of whether or not this game is good or bad, I'm just a fan that companies are willing to take chances like this, so we get to see just new takes on video games. So that's what I'm hyped about. Matt, your turn.
I'm glad you said what you just said at the end about you being excited to see video games go in new directions. One thing that I think is interesting to point out, we brought up Supermassive Games, the people who developed this game. This game is published by Namco, the creators of Pac-Man. So I think that's that shows like the full circle. So to see sort of like a Japanese company branch out into this sort of thing. Obviously, Supermassive Games is not a Japanese developer, but to have Namco Bandai put their name on this, that's interesting to me. Everything about this game existing, I appreciate, is about the ambitiousness of it. Everything I don't like about it is everything else. Unfortunately, I think this kind of shows how ambition like can be bad, because like obviously it's the success of Until Dawn that is allowing Supermassive Games to do this very ambitious project. But in retrospect, it would have been so much better to start out an anthology with Until Dawn than the Dark Pictures anthology Man of Medan, and then follow it up with the Dark Pictures anthology Little Hope, because you can't keep your Steam up for 9 games, you know, with Until Dawn being the success that allows you to do your crazy 8-game anthology. When I was researching just on Wikipedia, the Man of Medan failed to sell even 2/3 of what Until Dawn sold.
Oh, man.
I think they're just not giving themselves enough time. The article did say the idea behind the Dark Pictures anthology was to be releasing a game every 6 months, but this game is coming out 14 months after the Man of Medan. So that has also proven to be a problem.
Yikes.
To talk about this trailer and what the plot seems to be to this game looks like somebody played Silent Hill once, did not get the point of why Silent Hill is scary, and then made a video game. It's like, oh yeah, there's a town and there's fog and you can't do stuff because of the fog. You know, it just doesn't seem like this is going to work out. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully the Dark Pictures anthology can make it to all 8 games. The trailer doesn't look good. It doesn't. There's nothing here to grab me. So yeah, I wish Supermassive Games well in this crazy ambitious endeavor. I don't necessarily believe it will go well.
All right, guys, we've reached a segment of this trailer where we're going to do the boom or bust, and we're going to kick it to Mike to start. Mike, boom or bust?
So, I think I'm actually going to boom this, and the reason is we are obviously going to get more of them, most likely, unless this completely bombs and derails this project completely. But here, this boom is in hopes, you know, it's to hopefully the next one will maybe bring this project back together and make the anthology of the Dark Pictures worth it. Matt, how about you?
Guys, Foster the People, Mark Foster. It's the future of music, man. You know, the Dark Pictures anthology, Little Hope, that's the future of storytelling, man. Like, no, this is a bust for me. Those are me paraphrasing one Michael Victor Fernandez, right there. I hope I'm wrong, because it would be great for this to be like this, for this to succeed. But I just don't. I don't think this game. You have to make good games first, and based on the trailer, I don't think this is a good game.
All right, Corey.
There's that popcorn to Corey.
Yeah, I'm gonna say bust as well. As much as I love horror, everything horror, like Fernandez said, we're going to be theoretically we could be getting 6 more games from this franchise, but that's 6 more original in quotes, mind you, ideas you have to think of without falling back on tropes you've already used. They've already used, you know, Snowed Up in the Mountain. Now they used Lost at Sea with Man of Medan. Now they're doing Lost in Crazy Old Camp, Foggy, it's spooky. How many more ideas could you possibly come up with and still be a different game each time? How many more times can you scrape the bottom of the barrel to make another one of these games? And just because you say you're going to make 8 of something doesn't ever necessarily make it true. We all remember how Universal wanted to start the Dark Universe, and that flopped horribly and is only just now kind of starting to get traction again.
Yeah, that was a shame. I was actually excited for the Dark Universe.
I also wanted that to succeed. That could have been very fun, and still could be, but it's just very unlikely. So that all that is my long way of saying bust from me.
Please step aside and let the customers off the train first.